Hello, everybody. Today I'm going to be going through, itchy nose, going through George Harrison's third studio album, All Things Must Pass. Um, maybe well, a lot of, you know, fans of the Beatles and who go into the Beatles solo discographies. Well, we consider this to be his first album, and for good reasons, because going through his actual first two albums, a little rough, but finally got through them, and now I'm going to talk about them now. And of course, like and subscribe if you like what I do. And, yeah, let's get started. I'm gonna go take out the records individually because I'm not as familiar with some of the sides on the record. Okay, side one, I'd Have You Anytime. Such a beautiful way to open up the record, and you know going into a little bit of backstory on this album. Is Well, back in the 60s when George Harrison was with the Beatles, of course everyone knows that his songs weren't really included on the albums, like the songs that he wrote for the Beatles. Like the most songs he would have on a record is like one or two, and Revolver was like the exception with three songs, and the White Album he had four songs because two songs on each record. And what makes this album really good is that this record is basically all of his, well, not all of his, but like a lot of songs that he wrote for the Beatles that would end up that would get rejected, and yeah, trying to get my camera not so blurry. Ooh, making it worse. But just basically like an explosion of genius, and basically him like being like, hey, these are all my songs that I've been trying to show to you guys all these years, and finally we get to listen to them. And I'd Have You Every Anytime. It's just a really great way to open the album up. Track two, the big hit single off this album, My Sweet Lord. Very iconic song for all the right reasons. It's really good. The first time I ever heard the song, me and my mom were driving somewhere. My mom played this song, and I had no idea it was George Harrison. I thought it was like a Beatles song. And when I first heard it, I'm like, this sounds like the Beatles. And later I would find out it was George Harrison who sung the song. And just like just a fantastic song. It's really good. And well, it's like how it's like Hallelujah, Hare Krishna. I don't know if I'm saying it right. And very, very versatile with all like spiritualism and religion and all that, and pretty cool. I like it. Uh, Next track, Wah Wah, and I don't need no Wah Wah. Really, really good song. This song is basically about George Harrison's frustration with the Beatles and how much of a headache the Beatles have given him over the years. And there's a lyric that my favorite lyric is "cheaper than a dime," and I don't know if he's referring to Paul McCartney or John Lennon. I forgot which one he was referring to, but yeah, this song was basically like a diss track against the Beatles. Like not the Beatles, but like it was either John or Paul. I forgot which one it was, but George Harrison would go to say that he wasn't as crazy about the track as the rest of the album, but apparently it grew on him over time though, and he would learn to love the song. Last track on side one, yeah, only four tracks. Isn't It a Pity? fantastic track. The lyrics are genius. The way he sings it's genius. The music, the Phil Spector kind of like this is like what Let It Be was with the Phil Spector kind of like production, and works really well on this first side. And towards the end, it kind of like does the thing like Hey Jude with the na 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 na. It's pretty cool. Very, very great way to start the album off. Like much like even though the White Album had 8 tracks, I prefer these 4 tracks over the 8 tracks on the White Album. Okay, since each side I'm gonna look at the comment section. Hey Briar, how you doing? Fantastic album. Yeah. Yeah. Fun fact: Phil Collins participated in the sessions. None of his parts made it on the album. Yeah, I don't know why I said Phil Collins. It's pretty funny. Oh man, I'm so used to saying like Phil Collins that I actually said him instead of Phil Spector. Pretty funny. Pretty funny. Um, well, that ends side 1. Side 2 opens up with amazing song. What is life? Which, man, you can really hear the Phil Spector like not inspiration, but the Phil Spector sound on this song, and it sounds like one of those. It sounds like his usual Phil Spector sound, and I absolutely love it. Such a great track to come after. Isn't it a pity? If not for you, which is not a George Harrison song, it's a Bob Dylan song, and what a fabulous cover, if I do say so. Really good. Much better than the original, which says a lot because I really like the original. Behind That Locked Doors. Really fantastic track. I've always had a soft spot for behind these locked doors, and behind that these take 2 behind that locked door, and yeah, really good track. I really enjoy it. Let It Down, which this song was a grower. I wasn't that crazy about the song when I first heard it, but the song definitely grew on me over time, and such a great track with the chorus, the build up, and really good song. And side 2 closes out with the Run of the Mill, which what a great way to end off the first disc. And I have no complaints about the first disc. If it was just released as this first disc, and there was like no triple album or double album, this would still be one of my favorite albums of all time. That's how good the first disc is. Now, if you have the CD release, there's like a bunch of bonus tracks in between the first and second disc, but I'm not going to go into those because I got the record. Beware of Darkness. Not that strong of a song, but I still really enjoy it. It's very like not creepy, but it has like a very I like the Beware of Darkness. It's pretty cool. I like it. Yeah, it's pretty good. I like it. Apple Scruffs, which funny enough, funny enough was the B side to one of his singles, which I'm gonna look up, but I think it was the B side to What Is Life. I could be wrong. George Harrison discography. Singles. What Is Life? It was the B side to What Is Life, and pretty funny B side. I like it. It's a pretty humorous. I quite like it. I like the humorous nature of it. I like it. Ballad of Sir Frankie Crisp. Let It Roll. Um, Another really nice track. Yeah, I like it. I it is it's really hard to say a whole lot about these songs because a lot of people discussed how great this album is, which very warranted. It's really good, so I can't complain. But yeah, it's so good. I can't. It's not really much to add. That's how good it is. This album and this song. It's really good. Waiting on your all. Take two. Waiting on you all. Oh man, what a what a great track this is. The layered instrumentation, it's just a great song. Uh, then we get to the title track, "All Things Must Pass." Genius, 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 genius. What a great way to end off the third side. Fantastic. How's it going, Garrett? Haven't seen you in a while. Well, I have, but haven't recorded a video with you in a while, which hopefully sooner than later. But of course, take your time. Of course, isn't it a pity it has two versions? Yes, it does. I will be going over the second version on side 4. Yeah, pretty good. I prefer the first version, of course. Like if I want to hear a shorter version of "Isn't It a Pity," I'll go with the second version. But I don't get why there's a second version of "Isn't It a Pity," but yeah, it'll be very soon. Nice. Like I said, don't rush, but of course, sooner than later is great. Um, what does it say? Oh, speaking of Garrett, me and Garrett on his channel, we were thinking about doing the Album of the Year series again, which is a must. I'm glad we're gonna be doing it. We might be doing it again because there's a lot of albums I've been listening to lately that I haven't mentioned on our original video. So videos, I should say. But yeah, I'm gonna continue with the album review though. Uh, I Dig Love. Oh man. Uh, when I first heard this song, I'm like, it's all right because after the great "Waiting on You All" and "All Things Must Pass," after hearing those two songs back to back, and then getting to this song, I'm like, it's all right. But now, you know what? I really like it. It's really really good. I quite like it now, even though it could go a little. It feels like does go a little long. Art of Dying. Um, Man, I actually really enjoy Art of Dying. It's another kind of like big Phil Spector production, and you know, I quite like it. Then we go on to what Garrett was talking about before with the two versions of "Isn't It a Pity." This is the second version of "Isn't It a Pity," and well, I like "Isn't It a Pity" too. It's kind of weird that they would do it, like they would have like a second version, but I love this. I love it so much. I love it so much. The first song that I'm like, you know what? I don't care if I get a second version. um, Last song on the regular studio album stuff. Hear Me, Lord. Oh man, what a fan! Like if you're only listening to the first two records, which what I was doing for a very long time, I wasn't listening to the third record, but such a fantastic way to end off the first, like the second disc. Simply genius. I know I kind of use that word a lot, but you know, George Harrison for crying out loud. Um, okay. We will probably do the Led Zeppelin review next, then Genesis. I'm wanting to continue the Album of the Year series again too. Yeah, I mentioned that. We're probably going to pick up from 1974, and when we hit 1984, we could go back to 1966. Okay. I was gonna say 1965. I could do, but yeah, 1966 is a good one to end off. Oh, and we need to review Hotel California. Yes, we need to just we just need to do the Eagles because yeah, Eagles are great. I love the Eagles. I don't consider them a top 10 band, but they're still really good. Probably a top 50 at least. Okay, now we get to the Apple Jam sessions, the third disc, and probably there's not a whole lot to say about this third disc. It's kind of gonna be like the review from Electronic Sound. Like there's not a whole lot for me to say because it's all really instrumental tracks. But I'll try the best. Out of the blue, I have a question, Garrett. Was that like I don't know if that's the name of the album for the forgetting the name of the band right now. Electric Light Orchestra. Let me check the name of the album so I don't look like an idiot. Out of the Blue. Did he get the album name from the George Harrison track Out of the Blue, or is it just sheer coincidence that the name of this track is the same as the Blue Oyster Cult album name? I knew Jeff Beck was a Beatles fan, so I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. But while Garrett is probably answering that question, I'm going to go over how I really like this track. Yeah, I quite like this. Eric Clapton's in it. Of course, George Harrison, Gary Wright, Bobby Whitelock. Normally, I'm not into jam sessions, like really, really long jam sessions, but you know what? I quite like it. Yeah, I quite like it. And yeah, it's an 11-minute jam out session, but you know what? I don't care. I like it. It's Johnny's birthday. Kind of a funny little track. I mean, it's just George Harrison singing "It's Johnny's Birthday" and very goofy, but I quite like it. Plug Me In. It's a 3-minute track and really good as well. Okay, now that I went over side 5, time to look at the comments. Coincidence, huh? I guess it was a coincidence. I think the jam songs are fine for what they are. The musicianship is pretty good in my opinion. Yeah, when I first heard the jam out session, I was very disappointed after listening to the disc 1 and disc 2, but I've really grown to love the jam sessions. It's nowhere near as good as the first and second. Take 2. It's nowhere near as good as the first and second disc, but it's still really, really good. Really great track. Really good like disc in general. Side 6. So I don't think I've ever had an album before this one that had 6 sides. So side 6, I Remember Jeep. I quite like it. Probably my least favorite of the can't think as out of the jam session songs, but still pretty good. Then we get to the very last track album take 2. Get the very last song on the album. Thanks for the Pepperoni. I quite like it. It's a 5-minute jam session, and you know what? Really good, and yeah, I quite like it. Now to go over 5 favorite songs, a dishonorable song, and my album rating. Doing the 5 favorite songs part's gonna be hard. This has got to be me. This is kind of me doing this on the spot because I couldn't think of it right when I was doing it. Number 5, Away and All You All. Number 4, Wah Wah. Number 3, Isn't It a Pity? Number 2, Behind That Locked Door. And my favorite song on the album is What Is Life? Dishonorable song, the track that did the least on me, is, believe it or not one of the Jam songs. It's actually I Dig Love. And while I did say Girl on Me, it's still my least favorite song on the album. But if I had to pick a dishonorable, what am I thinking? If I had to think of a dishonorable Jam session song, it would be the Jeep song. That's probably my second least favorite song on the album. And my album ranking, 10 out of 10. This album is perfect, and this is pretty sure this could be on my top 25 albums of all time. Not sure yet. There are so much albums I really like, but pretty sure this is one of them, and for a very good reason. And telling you that, you're probably gonna assume when I do my solo Beatle ranking, this could be my favorite solo Beatle record. And if you think that, you will absolutely be correct, because it is my favorite solo Beatle record. And yeah. And I forgot which, I don't know what year this is, but this is one of those remastered copies, and I don't remember how much I paid for this, but I remember paying a lot of money for it because it's a triple record set. And yeah, probably I think it's like $60 or $70. Yeah, but I got this at the same time I got Who's Next by The Who. So I have really good memories of both albums. So, which I am excited to do The Who. Who's Next? Who's solo career reviewing next? That's a good question. Let me check YouTube, because I put up a poll, and at one point Ringo was winning 80% of the votes, and it changed to Paul McCartney. Let's check. Yep, looks like Paul McCartney's next. I'm gonna delete that poll just so the votes don't change. But yeah, Paul McCartney is next, and well, I have to go through George Harrison's discography first. So hope you guys enjoy. I'm not gonna end the video right now, but hope you guys enjoy the review. I'm gonna be, like I said, I'm gonna be doing these George Harrison reviews every Saturday and Wednesday, and that's gonna be going for every Beatle, solo Beatle. I'm gonna be doing probably. Then after, I'm gonna be doing, well, in between them, I'm gonna be doing a ranking video of the individual artist. Like after I review, forgot the name of the album. I know it came after Cloud 9. Brainwash. Take 2. After I review Brainwashed, I'm going to be doing a George Harrison ranking video. Then I'm going to do Paul McCartney, do a Paul McCartney ranking. And I'm going to be doing all the Paul McCartney albums. I'm going to be doing the Wings albums. I'm going to be doing the Three Weird Firemen album. And I'm going to be doing that weird 1967 album that he wrote for George Martin for that movie, The Family Way. It's going to be 30 albums, so we're going to be on. Once we do get to Paul McCartney, it's going to be a very long time of me reviewing Paul McCartney. I don't even own a lot of his albums, so there might be times in between reviews where I might not even do the reviews until I get the album for the review. And then I'll do an album ranking. I will not be doing. Yes, let me look on Wikipedia, because Paul McCartney discography. Solo Wings. Yeah, he had 1, 2, 3, 4. He had 5 classical albums, and I'm not I'm not doing those weird 5 classical albums because I don't like classical music at all. Um, and like I said, I'm gonna be doing the Fireman. Uh, there are gonna be there's more albums that he made, but I just want to just could do it so that it's like a perfect 30 number because I kind of like that. And he had other albums. Like I said, I'm gonna include The Family Way, which is weird enough. It's on the London Decca label and not on Parlophone for some reason. Um, yeah, he had this album called Trilotin and album called Liverpool Sound College. That's 2 albums I'm not including. Twin Feet Freaks I'm not doing, and McCartney 3 Imagine I'm not doing. Which I could do every single McCartney related thing, but I'm just gonna do Fireman, Wings, all of Paul McCartney, and that one Family Way album. And yeah. As for John Lennon, when I do go to John Lennon's discography, look him up right now. Let me look. I might as well just present. Share screen. Okay. Discography, albums. I'm going to be doing the unfinished music. Oh, didn't mean to show that album cover. Unfinished music number 2, which this has a good album, not good, but appropriate album cover. It's on the Zapple label. The Wedding album. These 3 albums I'm not even close to being looking forward to doing. Then there's the Plastic Ono Band. Then there's the Imagine album. Then there's the Sometime in New York City album. Then there's Mind Games, Walls and Bridges, Rock and Roll, Double Fantasy, and I will be including the Milk and Honey album, the posthumous album. And yeah, I'm gonna look through Ringo's. God damn it, my CD fell down. Okay. Studio albums. He had 20 albums. Sentimental Journey, Blue Coops Blues, Ringo, Goodnight Vienna, Ringo's Road. Can't say that because I'm not saying I'm not allowed to, but it's just can't say it. Ringo the Fourth, even though this is 2, 3, 4. This is his 6th album. It should really be called Ringo the Sixth. Bad Boy, which a lot of people hate. Stop and Smell the Roses. Old Wave. Time Takes Time. Vertical Man. Want to Be Santa Claus. So some of these albums weren't released on record. So I'm going to have to get them on CD, I guess. Ringo Rama, Choose Love, Liverpool 8. Why Not? Ringo 12, Postcards from Paradise, Give More Love. Then his most recent album, What's My Name, released 2019, and was his last album, which interesting. And yeah, he says he's mostly gonna be doing EPs now, which he does. George Harrison, which I'm doing him right now. So Harrison, I guess I'll go through the albums he has, and I guess I'll go back to Paul McCartney so I could show you the albums. Wonderwall Music, Electronic Sound, which those 2 I just went through. Check those out. Well, check the reviews out. Don't check the music out, especially Electronic Sound. That album's god awful. All Things Must Pass, Living in the Material World. That's going to be the next review on Wednesday. Then there's Dark Horse, which is going to be next week on Saturday. Then there's Extra Texture, 33 and a third, which is the speed of a record, which is cool. George Harrison's self-titled album, which is probably my second favorite George Harrison album, but I got to listen to the rest of them again, so I could say that. Somewhere in England, Gone Troppo, Cloud 9, and then his last album, Brainwashed. That'll be the end of his discography. And I guess I'll go back to Paul McCartney. Since I'm sharing screen. Of course, there's, well, might as well go from oldest to newest. There's the Family Way album, which is the album cover. It's on Decca Records, like I mentioned. There's the McCartney album, which Jason mentioned a few times on his channel through the quiz polls. There's Ram, which is technically not a Paul McCartney record. It's a Paul and Linda McCartney record, which I can care less. To me, it's just a Paul McCartney record. There's the Wings records, Wildlife, Red Rose Speedway, Band on the Run, Venus and Mars, Wings at the Speed of Sound, London Town, and Back to the Egg. That's the end of the Wings discography. McCartney 2, which went to number 1, which is weird because it's a weird album. I love it, but it's a little weird. Tug of War, Pipes of Peace. Give my regards to Broad Street, which a lot of people hate. Weirdly enough, went to number 1. Press to Play, the Russian album. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. Flowers in the Dirt, which a lot of people heard it was a really good album by him. Off the Ground, Flaming Pie, which I heard that's a really good album. I've heard the track before. It's really good, so I wouldn't be surprised if it is really good. Run, Devil Run, Driving Rain, Chaos and Creation in the background, Memory Almost Full, Kisses on the Bottom, New, Egyptian Station, and then the McCartney album, the McCartney 3 album. Then, like I said, he has classical albums, which I'm not going through these at all. And then there's the Fireman albums, which there's this album, and then there is this album. So that's the 3 Fireman album. And that's about it with the Beatles discographies. And like I said, in between them, I will be doing ranking videos. And then afterwards, the ranking videos will not be a part of the schedule, like the Wednesday, Saturday schedule. It'll just be a day that I choose. It might be Wednesday or Saturday, but I don't know. But I'll do the individual rankings. Then I'll do a full ranking, which over 70 albums. Kind of crazy. Then I'll probably do like an overview video, like this is my opinion on the Beatles solo albums, and then yeah. But now the video is over, and hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you enjoyed me going through these albums and the ones I'm going to be reviewing. And see you guys next time. Bye.